I want you to watch this raw footage of the crowd walking out during Donald Trump's unhinged ramblings at a rally in North Carolina. Take a look.
Followed that sucker storm, I followed it. But then I said, I'm going to let them just get this. Even if you get people would do a good job. They did a horrible job under the auspices of these two people. I got to say these two people, but...
Okay, he is clearly still speaking, and journalist Lily Ibsa posted another video of people walking out a few minutes later while Donald Trump is speaking. She says there's a steady stream of people filing out of Trump's rally, and again, it's still going on.
I'm not taking any days off, right, Mike? We don't believe in taking days off. No, but she takes days off. I don't think so. In fact, just the opposite. I don't think so. I'm going to say... maybe she's smarter than us. I don't think so. Now that would be a story. Wouldn't that be a big story? I don't think so. She's done it.
Look at this. You can see these people grabbing on each other's shoulders so they can leave. I mean,
wouldn't that be a big...
I'm going to mute it for 1 second so I can show you guys people actually, genuinely leaving. Again, this is a new form of something I call anti-campaigning, where every single rally you hold, every single town hall event, or every single economic forum loses you votes.
The worst administration in the history of our country. And if we let this slip away, we should have our heads examined. I mean,
that was Donald Trump saying the American people should have their heads examined if he loses the 2024 election during a rally in Kinston, North Carolina today, while also inadvertently admitting that it's possible for him to lose the 2024 election without fraud. Now, we have 2 days to go, and Kamala Harris is running a nearly flawless campaign, but there is one trick that she's pulling that I'd like to touch on throughout this video, and that is causing Donald Trump to really lose his shit. I mean, day after day, we have seen him say more and more unhinged things, and when you think that he can't hit a new low, he wakes up today and says, watch me. I mean, just today, he began talking about the media being shot at, and we have an official response from the Trump campaign that I want to show you guys, and it's just a perfect example of how Kamala Harris is just working the Trump campaign at every single corner. So, first, let's jump in with this clip of Donald Trump just sounding exhausted, hoarse, and depressed at his rally 30 minutes ago in Kinston, North Carolina.
Well, a very special hello to North Carolina. Thank you. We've had a lot of luck in North Carolina. We won it twice. We won every primary. We won everything this place.
I know you guys hate his voice, so I won't play too much of him, but he does sound uniquely hoarse in this clip. Just take a close listen.
North Carolina, we won it twice. We won every primary. We won everything.
And he looks uniquely tan. It's not even tan anymore. It's like a muddy, weird brown. Next, this is a clip of Donald Trump just minutes after he took the stage talking about Putin.
And you know, right now I'm saying, who the hell's running the country? Nobody even knows. Can you imagine President Xi of China or Putin or anybody they want to call? They say, who the hell's running that country? It's the first time we have a country where we don't even know who is running it. Nobody knows. Let's call the United States. Who do we speak to? Most of them say Donald Trump. Just call Donald Trump. You know? That's what they're saying.
He's talking about Vladimir Putin. I mean, he said Xi Jinping by name, but we know that he's been on multiple phone calls with Vladimir Putin, and it's not because Putin doesn't know who's leading the U.S., it's because Putin very well knows. He damn well knows the person leading the U.S. isn't dumb enough to be his little pawn, but there is somebody who can be his pawn, and that is Donald Trump. I do want to show you this video of VP Harris, our pro-democracy candidate, and I will explain her campaign strategy in 1 second that I really like, but first let me show you this infographic that her campaign just posted. Harris's plan for workers. 1. Champion expanded overtime payments for workers. Sign landmark pro-union legislation, including the PRO Act. Fight to raise the minimum wage and eliminate sub-minimum wages, and unleash a made-in-America manufacturing boom to create good-paying union jobs. And a lot of this would be off the back of President Biden's bill that already has a decade reach. Let's watch this clip of VP Harris being asked about Donald Trump refusing to admit defeat.
Donald Trump prematurely claimed victory in 2020. Just his comments in the past few days seem to suggest, that he's thinking about it. How will you and your campaign respond if he does the same thing again?
So here we are on the Sunday before the election, and I would ask, in particular, people who have not yet voted, to not fall for his tactic, which I think includes suggesting to people that if they vote, their vote won't matter. Suggesting to people that somehow the integrity of our voting system is not intact so that they don't vote. And again, I think that it is a tactic. It is meant to distract from the fact that we have and support free and fair elections in our country. We did in 2020. He lost. And the systems that are in place for this election in 2024 have integrity. They are good systems, and the vote of the people will determine the outcome of this election, and everyone must know that their vote is their power to determine the outcome of the election, and their vote will count. It does matter.
Very well said, and I want you to notice how Donald Trump and his team have such thorough plans to challenge the election results in all the key swing states. I'm sure they have more stuff behind the scenes. We know that Trump has a secret with Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, yet they have spent exactly zero energy coming up with any plans regarding healthcare, regarding education, or immigration, any of the things that they have promised. That's why Trump is straight up BSing his way through, but it just blows my mind that we have to actually worry about the ex-president challenging the results of the election before the votes are even in. Now, something that I do want to point out is that Mehdi Hasan just posted a tweet in response to Donald Trump's clip that went viral from last night, where he says that she never worked at McDonald's. Kamala never worked there. And a Trump supporter in the crowd yells out, "She worked on a corner," and Trump laughs and says, "This place is amazing." Now, this fits into the broader point of this video that Kamala Harris is running a nearly flawless campaign, and very much so differentiating herself from the campaigns of 2016, Hillary Clinton, and even 2020, Joe Biden. For example, 2016 Hillary Clinton would have taken the bait here, probably responded, but Kamala Harris is backing up, not taking the bait. She's letting her surrogates take care of Donald Trump, and that leads to an even further meltdown. That leads to the snowball rolling down the hill even further and accumulating, heading towards a massive explosion. And I'm going to show you how that related today to Donald Trump's media comments, because Kamala's surrogates went after Trump and his campaign immediately responded. But first, regarding this clip where some Trump supporter says that Kamala worked on a corner, Mehdi Hasan said in response, 2 weekends running, Trump and his campaign have suggested the black woman running for president was/is a prostitute, and the media have given him a pass on it, either ignored or sane-washed it. It should be disqualifying, and it would be if it were anyone other than Teflon Trump. And Mehdi Hasan brings up a great point about not only the double standards of the media, not only the fact that, could you imagine if Kamala Harris made oral simulations with the microphone in the same way that Donald Trump did? I saw a viral tweet from some journalist saying, could you imagine if Kamala Harris did that? Trump would never let it go. MAGA would never let it go, but the media forgets it after a few days because he throws so much stuff to the wall. And right here, Donald Trump literally laughs at a Trump supporter saying that a black woman running for president was a prostitute or is a prostitute. Is an insanely new low to hit, even for Donald Trump. In this clip, he completely forgets the quote saying we're running past the 4-yard line.
Records, but we have to go out like we're on the 4-yard line, not the 5-yard line, slightly better. All we have to do is carry that ball over that thing. We get into that end zone, it's over.
Carry that ball over that thing, yeah. And now I want to speak to Kamala Harris's broader campaign strategy and show how it has worked so perfectly. First, I keep getting comments like this. I've been watching you for a while now, but I didn't realize I was not even subscribed. I am now voting blue. The best way you can support is double checking to make sure that you're subscribed below the video. So earlier today, Donald Trump made a remark about people shooting through the media, and he honestly wouldn't mind if the media got shot through. And number one, this is very intentional rhetoric from Donald Trump. He wants nothing more than to have state media, people who don't have to act as a guardrail, so he undermines the media every step of the way. He threatens them, he tries to intimidate them, and I would even make the argument that Jeff Bezos nuking that Washington Post endorsement was the first sign of media curtailing their behavior because they're scared of what a second Trump administration might do. Could you imagine? That is how an authoritarian regime is built. The media starts to become scared to even report on stuff, and then state media is built. So the Trump campaign released a statement today that was near state media, and it's a perfect example. It perfectly illustrates how Kamala Harris backing up not immediately biting when Donald Trump says something crazy, just letting her surrogates go after it, letting her surrogates attack his surrogates, leads to the Trump campaign melting down even further because Stephen Chung felt the need to respond and clarify things. He said in a Trump campaign statement, quote, President Trump was brilliantly talking about the 2 assassination attempts on his own life, including the one that came within a fourth of an inch of killing him. Now, just so you guys know, this is going to be one of the most shameless press releases you've ever seen. One of the craziest just 2 days before an election. He then said, the president's statement about protective glass placement has nothing to do with the media being harmed or anything else. It was about threats against him that were spurred on by dangerous rhetoric from Democrats. In fact, President Trump was stating that the media was in danger and that they were protecting him and therefore were in great danger themselves and should have had a glass protective shield also. There can be no other interpretation of what was said. He was actually looking out for their welfare far more than their own, said Stephen Chung, Trump campaign communications director. Every time I say the name Stephen Chung, it's him denying that Trump blended up babies or some absolutely heinous stuff. But yeah, broadly speaking, Kamala and her team have done a great job of letting the Trump campaign essentially hang themselves with all of their mistakes and just let their mistakes play out. For example, the pro-Trump comics Puerto Rico insult raises Democrats' hopes in Pennsylvania. This article was just posted this morning, and it says, Pennsylvania Democrats believe comedian Tony Hinchcliffe's insulting remarks about Puerto Rico at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally are already helping turn out Puerto Rican voters. Just the timeliness of Donald Trump's campaign meltdown is so perfect. He's been doing this for a few months now, ever since VP Harris entered the campaign, but it is a new level with these Liz Cheney comments, with these shooting the media comments. It is insane. Aaron Rupar just posted this video and said, everybody behind Donald Trump is wondering what the hell is going on.
The president has the right to impose the tariffs on these countries that have been hurting us. They've really been hurting us. It's so ridiculous. They end up closing, everybody loses their job, then they make it in their country, and then they send it back to us with no tax, no nothing, and we lose it. We lose the company, we lose the jobs.
These people in the back seem super enthused. Let's zoom in on some of them.
We lose sort of everything, and it's so stupid, and all we have to do is the same thing, but we have a big advantage because we have the pot of gold. See, ours is really the pot of gold. Ours is the one that they want, but we won't have that pot of gold very long because...
What is this dude yapping about so insanely unhinged? Let's finally check out what Tim Walz is up to.
Look, I know people are stressed. There's a few good things in this, too. Just think about this. After about 48 hours, we win this thing. We have President Harris. We won't ever have to talk about this guy again. Never.
We are in the end game, folks. Please go get out and vote. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.